Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 18 of the G1 Features podcast. We hope to make it a little less special this time after last episode was pretty much a giant rant against Nintendo for the Alice and Wrap situation. But, there's still some stuff in there, but we're gonna make it a fun show for everyone. As always, my name is G1 Madhero. I do most of the stuff here on G1 Features, and with me, as always, enjoying his grapes is Gear. How are you doing, good sir?
I am indeed enjoying my grapes. Thank you for noticing. These are such good grapes, dude.
Okay.
They were on sale and everything.
Nice.
It's just like the best of both worlds.
Okay.
So,
well, are
so
the red
now
grapes
that you've
or the green?
mentioned them, I'm gonna keep eating them during the show because I'm a professional.
Okay. Sure, as long as people don't mind it too much. But, yeah. Are they the green grapes or the red grapes? Because those are pretty much the only grapes that I see.
Those are like the only grapes that
are around. Yeah.
They're red grapes. They are Chilean crimson grapes. Which amuses me because there's a little sticker of just like, they're very proud, like the Albert Heijn Foundation. It's just like, they're very proud with care from Africa. And it's just like, these are from Chile.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you guys are on about.
Maybe they're, like, it's a Chilean, type of grape, but they are grown in Africa.
No, there were others that you could get from Africa.
Okay.
I think they just accidentally put the sticker on this box.
Whoopsie. Well, Grape Talk 2016 will have to maybe wait because there's other stuff that happened or, have you been playing anything recently or anything happened specific or?
No, actually, now that you mention it. No, that's not true. That is not true. I have actually been playing a video game. It is Pocket Mortys.
Pocket Mortys, the little iOS, or in your case, Android game, from the folks at Rick and Morty.
Yes, it is a Pokemon Rick-off.
I
didn't even, okay, well. That's like 3 levels of terrible right there.
Yeah.
It's a Pokemon ripoff starring Rick and Morty.
It is very much a Pokemon ripoff, and it's kinda shameless about it.
Yeah.
It knows.
It's Rick and Morty. It knows in the show Rick and Morty, they know it's a show, so.
Yeah.
It doesn't get more meta than that.
Do they? At least I don't remember them breaking the fourth wall.
At the end of season 1. They do.
Oh yeah, right.
That's it for this season. See you guys next year.
Right, yeah. But speaking of good movies, did you see that Rogue One teaser?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it looks so cool.
Oh, I'm so excited. I didn't really know what to expect from Rogue One, but now that I've seen the teaser, I should say, I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, it looks a lot darker than Force Awakens. There's that. Like, Star Wars is allowed maybe to go a bit darker with, its spin-offs, not necessarily with the main trilogy, even if there are some dark moments in there.
I mean, it's about to say, like, Star Wars isn't exactly super lighthearted.
No, well, it's definitely still meant for kids.
It's family friendly, that doesn't mean it's like, the big spoilerific moment in The Force Awakens isn't exactly happy, fun, cheer times.
No, not particularly. But, it looks dark. Rogue One looks dark, or at least a bit more of an edge, like they're in a war with stars in them.
Again, lest we forget that Luke Skywalker lost a fucking hand.
Yeah. But,
so did Anakin Skywalker, but that doesn't matter because those movies are terrible.
Yeah. Oh, Anakin lost a lot more than his hand.
Yeah!
He got majorly fucked up.
Yeah, he first lost his hand, and then later he lost, like, the other 70% of his body.
Yeah.
Because Obi-Wan had the high ground, which automatically means you win.
Yeah.
Except for that one time where Obi-Wan was jumping out of a chasm in episode 1.
Yeah.
And Darth Maul had the high ground, and he lost. So, yeah. Good stuff.
But yeah, it looks a lot of fun. You, of course, get the people whining that, again, a female main character, but I don't care. It looks a whole lot of fun, and I can't wait for December 17th when it comes out.
Honestly, like, it's just so funny that, and this will come back in a story that we're gonna cover as well. It's just like, how fragile is your masculinity that, like, or I guess in this case, two movies in an entire genre dominated by men are just, like, the end of everything. Just, like, these two movies mean that feminists have ruined everything, sci-fi is over. It's just like, oh, you could watch these two Star Wars movies that have women and non-white people in their main cast. You could just turn to literally any other sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember, like, I was watching The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, and I don't usually watch it, but there was a segment on Star, like, back when Force Awakens was still coming out, and there was the big controversy that a woman is the lead and a black man is as well. And then, of course, I remember just hearing a news, I don't know which one, saying the words sinister multicultural agenda.
that sounds like Fox News.
It wasn't.
Oh, it was a quote.
It was a quote.
Okay.
But it was just like, I hadn't heard anything as, like, that just really stuck out in my mind as one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life.
The evil social Marxist SJW feminists are destroying Western values and, oh my god.
Yeah. It's all a big dumb argument, and we'll get to it in another story, but we got a bit off track. Rogue One's looking awesome.
Yup.
And, as for what I've been, cause the game that you've been playing was, what was that again?
Pocket Mortys.
Oh yeah. Boy, we jumped a lot of them. Yeah, Pocket Mortys. I kind of stopped playing it after a week or so.
I downloaded it like 2 days ago, so I'm still like in the early stages.
It's alright, but it's a very, for free to play, you can do much worse, and there isn't a whole lot of, hey, go pay some money, please. But, it's alright for what you get.
I mean, the blips and chits machines are literally all over the place.
That is true.
But, like, there's, like, as long as you don't interact with them, you never really get, like, reminders about it, so.
Yeah. Well, now that you mention playing a mobile game, I have done pretty much the same. Though calling it a game is maybe, overselling it.
Neko Atsume?
No.
No.
It's, more of a, it's kind of like a thing when Charlie Brooker did his, video games that, really shook the world or something like that. And then the last game he mentioned was Twitter.
Oh, is it Miitomo?
Yes, it is Miitomo. Yes, I've been drinking the Nintendo Kool-Aid and playing Miitomo.
Honestly, that's just so annoying to me. Like last week, so many people were going fucking off on Nintendo, and then everyone was suddenly, oh look, Miitomo! What's that, Allison Rapp? I don't look, Miitomo! Like, I wasn't gonna do Miitomo anyway, but now I, like, abjectly refuse it on moral grounds. I feel like I said that at the end of the last episode.
You did, yeah. But, I've been playing it. It's, it's hard to say playing it. Like, the one game is to win, some funny costumes, and that's about it.
You've been using it.
I've been using it, and it's fun.
Feeding it your personal information for the benefit of a major corporation.
Yeah, it's pretty much data mining all my, like, it's asking the weirdest questions. It's really, really weird sometimes. And it's just, sometimes you just, like, you can't help but give dumb, stupid answers, which is the fun thing to do, and seeing other people give dumb, stupid answers, and it's just a fun, it's a fun little distraction, something you open up it's kind of like Animal Crossing. You kind of just open it up for a couple of minutes, read what people are saying, and then, answer your own questions, and then that's about it. And sometimes you want to win a ninja costume, but all you're getting are stupid sweets that are pretty much useless.
Awesome.
Yeah. But, for what it is, it's fun. And hey, thanks to it, because with the My Nintendo program, I did get to play another game because I finally got enough points for it, and that's WarioWare Touch on my Nintendo 3DS.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. That's always, WarioWare Touch, like, I can't believe that thing is a launch game because there's so much creativity going on with the way it uses the touchscreen.
Well, I guess that is indicative of a launch screen, of a launch title, because launch titles are like, let's use every feature of this new thing. I mean, you saw it with the spray can in Infamous Second Son, you know?
That was the dumbest thing. But, yeah, I really, really like WarioWare Touch. I think it's one of the better WarioWare games. And, yeah, it was nice getting that as sort of a reward and that's what we're probably going to be using Miitomo for, to get the coins, to get rewards. For example, you can, get like 30% off on stuff like Splatoon or Pushmo and that kind of stuff. It's a relatively easy, rewards program to follow if you just, put the effort into it.
That's like two contradictory statements. It's easy, but it also takes effort.
Okay, it's very easy, but you gotta put some minutes into it, if that sounds better. But yeah, so I've been playing WarioWare Touched, thanks to Miitomo. And Miitomo's it's free, so you might as well give it a shot if you're interested.
And I'm not.
Okay. Okay, that's perfectly fine. I mean, the whole thing is pretty much data mining. In that sense, it is kind of just like...
I have given enough companies my personal information already.
Yeah.
I mean, Google basically knows me better than I do at this point.
Yeah.
So...
I will say that the Me Photo, thing, so you can make your own pictures with Miis, is incredibly fun. It's fun to just, put all a bunch of Miis together and just make really, really, weird reactions. And the funny thing is, especially for a Nintendo, thing, it's not censored. You can say the F word and all that stuff. And it wouldn't be, censored. Though, if you say fuck, it does, I noticed that it speeds up a little. So it is kind of avoiding it, but at the same time, not really.
That's something, I guess.
It's something indeed. But, yeah, good fun. And for the rest, I've been really big on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure recently, for some reason.
You've been watching that?
Yeah. The new series is out.
Oh, nice.
And, so I've been following that, although it's only 2 episodes now.
I feel like it's a show that I would really love. I just haven't, gotten into it yet.
It is supremely silly. It's bizarre. It's in the title.
Yeah.
But it's a really fun show. It's super violent as well. And super weird, but it is...
I mean, it's kind of like One Punch Man, where it's just I know I would love this show if I just, actually watched it, but I just never
One Punch
actually
Man is good.
get around to it.
Yeah. I mean, this is just in the first episode, where, there's a character, they're talking about this major criminal that escaped, and his last crime was so vile, it made a rat in the bathroom puke. That's the kind of dialogue you can expect in this show.
Basically, the only thing I know about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is I saw a compilation of Jotaro, the old guy.
That's Joseph probably, because Jotaro is relatively young.
Okay. Going oh shit!
Yes.
Oh fuck! Son of a bitch!
The English, it is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and just from that, I'm I need to watch this.
It is incredible, and it's the one thing, because I watched because the first 2 seasons have a dub, an English dub.
Oh, sweet.
And, you lose moments like that in the English version, but there are, but the dubs is actually alright, if you want to watch it that way. And the funny thing is that the second season, the main character has the exact same voice as number 1 from the Kids Next Door.
Does he really?
He does! It's pretty much the exact same voice. It's the same actor and everything.
Oh, that's so weird.
It kind of works.
I mean, the stuff like that, I've seen stuff like that happen. I watched, I think, the first season of Young Justice.
Uh-huh.
Which is a really good show, by the way.
Young Justice is great.
Where, the same person who played Cyborg in Teen Titans
is Aqualad, yeah.
Is Aqualad, and it kind of shows through sometimes. And it's just wait, you're what? No, wah!
Yeah, sometimes you get that with actors, especially with actors that you know have a very distinctive voice.
John DiMaggio.
John DiMaggio, for
Jesus Christ, John DiMaggio.
Steve Bloom, for example, as
Steve
well.
Bloom, yeah.
Voices that you just instantly recognize, like, okay, it's that guy, I know him.
Tara Strong.
Tara Strong has range. But
yeah, that's true.
You can tell sometimes it's her.
But I mean, it's like, no, not Tara Strong, Kristen Schaal.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Like, in Bob's Burgers and in Gravity Falls, she basically does the same voice.
Yeah, that's pretty much her voice, so
yeah.
But we've gone on quite the tangent, so do you want to move on to some news, or?
Yeah, let's do some news, because things happen in the video game industry, and only, like, one of the things we're covering today is actually a bad thing.
Yeah. There's been some, well, you know, how you look at it, there's another thing that could be considered bad. But, yeah, I'll just name the topics, and we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Metal Gear, Nosgoth.
Oh, right, Nosgoth. I forgot about that completely.
Fear Effect. And, let me think, Baldur's Gate.
Let's just do it in that order. I like that order.
Okay, so, you know, if you've played the Metal Gear franchise, David Hayter is generally considered the voice of Solid Snake. He's been it since Metal Gear Solid, has done it in pretty much every game, you know, played Solid Snake and Big Boss. Except for Metal Gear Solid 5, where he was replaced by Kiefer Sutherland.
Who I don't actually know because I only played Ground Zeroes. Apparently did not seem to give much of a fuck.
It's hard to say, really. I mean, he does a fine job with what he has, Kiefer Sutherland, but Snake is awfully quiet in Phantom Pain, at least.
I mean, I know the story, so that's, like, kind of the point, but, yeah. But anyway, for most people, I think it's fair to say that David Hayter is Solid Snake.
Yeah.
And so, recently, Ford, the car company, made a commercial where David Hayter and, I don't know the other guy's name.
Roy Campbell,
Roy Campbell. Reprised their roles to do a Ford commercial.
Yeah.
And it was, like, spot on. Like David Hayter he responded to questions by repeating that question.
Yeah.
And stuff. Just like, ugh. That is classic. That is vintage.
Green fuel emissions.
Metal Gear.
Yeah.
I can't actually do a David Hayter. I can do an Egoraptor doing a David Hayter, but I can't do a David Hayter.
Yeah. I think many people think they can do a David Hayter and then it doesn't sound particularly great.
It's kind of like the Scottish accent. It's that accent that you think you can do, but actually can't.
Yeah. But there's a second one.
Paraphrase John Oliver.
Yeah. There's a second one which features Psycho Mantis.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. I've only seen the one with the Colonel.
Yeah, there's two of them. There's the one with the codec call and there's Psycho Mantis. It's not the same actor, so it's not as fun, and Snake doesn't talk in it. But it is, you know, it's a silly little thing, and it's just kind of like, I'm not sure if this makes me want to buy a car. Especially since I can't afford one.
It's the same thing of just, like, Final Fantasy 13 characters modeling clothing, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, there's a bunch of weird car commercials out there. Like, there was, at one point, Skeletor from He-Man took over the Honda Twitter account.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It was the weirdest thing. It's just kind of like, okay, wait, what's this all about?
And I mean, let's be honest, it's not like Konami was doing anything useful with the IP anyway.
I'm not sure if this follows under parody law. I kind of assume it does, but you never know, like, if this is done with the approval of Konami.
I kind of hope it isn't, just to piss them off.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Let's see. The second, story is, Nosgoth, which, if you may remember, is a multiplayer PvP game, humans versus vampires, and is based on the Legacy of Kain franchise, a franchise which has seen games like Soul Reaver 2, Blood Omen, all that good stuff. I really like the franchise. It's not necessarily a multiplayer thing. In fact, not at all.
And yet Nosgoth exists, but not for much longer.
Exactly, because, Nosgoth had a weird history because it was originally part of a multiplayer game for a new Legacy of Kain game called Dead Sun. But then that game got cancelled and it was never officially announced. It was only later leaked back in 2014 or so. But, and then later on they decided to focus on that multiplayer thing. And then it was in early access for apparently a year. They thought it was already out. And now they've decided, fuck it, we'll cancel it. Because it's not, the player base isn't growing and at a fast enough rate and they aren't using the microtransactions and all that stuff. And basically, it's gone.
It's gonna die.
Yeah. And I'm not particularly saddened because I wasn't playing it, I assume.
I don't know anyone who was playing it, personally.
Yeah.
I'm sure people were, just I don't know any of them.
Yeah. And I do wonder what this kind of means for if they are going to make a proper Legacy of Kain game, because it's been, I want to say 2006, and I think the last one wasn't even that good. I think it was Defiance.
I've never played any of them, so
they're pretty good.
Take your word for it. I do own one of them on GOG, I think.
Yeah. Soul Reaver 2 is the best one, so I think but, since, it sucks for the people who were actively playing it, but as someone who didn't play it and kind of was annoyed by its existence in that it's not a proper Legacy of Kain game, I'm kind of like, moving right along. Moving on from one Eidos project, now Square Enix, to the other, some of you may remember the Square Enix Collective. Do you know about it?
Nope.
Okay, so, 2 years back, Square Enix launched a project called the Square Enix Collective, where indie game studios would be able to pitch, game ideas to them using their IP that they aren't particularly using right now. And the 3 examples that they used were Gex.
Gex is Square Enix?
Gex is Eidos, and Eidos got taken over by Square Enix, so...
Oh. Okay, fair enough.
Anachronox, which is a late 90s RPG made by one of the Wolfenstein creators, I believe.
Oh, I have that game on
GOG. It's on GOG. And, Fear Effect. Which is
Resident Evil, but with lesbians.
Yeah, it's a early 90s, 2000s, PS1 franchise. It's very Resident Evil-esque in terms of its gameplay. And is now mostly remembered for its, lesbian, main characters. Which is pretty much the big selling point, of Fear Effect 2, I believe. That it was all very much, oh, look at them hot lesbians,
Which, as far as representation goes, you can do a lot better.
Yeah, you can, but this was 2001, and, we've gotten a lot better.
Understand it back then.
Yeah.
That's completely untrue.
It's still pretty impressive that it's a thing, but you do have to take that in mind, that it's kind of, whatever. But anyway, it's coming back. Because a French game developer, Sushi, has officially partnered with Square Enix to make a new Fear Effect game. It's done in the style of Shadowrun Returns, apparently. So it's very different from the original Fear Effect games.
Okay, a top-down RPG.
Top-down RPG. Apparently, it's getting some Invisible Ink
apparently that game's really good.
Parallels.
So
yeah, that game's apparently really good as well. But it's coming to Kickstarter soon-ish.
That's a pity.
It's keeping the cel-shaded art style. But basically all Square Enix is doing is lending them the IP, which they weren't doing anything to begin with.
Maybe this will lead to another Chrono game.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious, because I think right now, from what especially from the stuff they named, they seem to mainly focus on Eidos, games that they aren't doing, Eidos franchises they aren't doing stuff with. And let me see, I'm looking through a list of, cause they're using Hitman, they're using Just Cause, Legacy of Kain, maybe? But, there's also Carmageddon is in there apparently, though I think Carmageddon is no longer with them.
I wouldn't know.
I'm not sure, because Carmageddon Reincarnation is the thing.
I mean, fucking Chrono Trigger was the shit.
Chrono
Still
Trigger's awesome.
is. I love Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger is awesome. It's aged really, really well.
I played it on DS a couple of years ago, and that port is amazing.
Yeah.
And also really hard to find, which pisses me off.
I know.
But
yeah, I've always liked the idea of the Square Enix collective, if only that, hey, we have some old franchises we aren't planning to use, but hey, maybe you guys have any good ideas what to do with them, and hey, if you want to use it, go right ahead. If we like your pitch anyway.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really, I think it's a really smart move, especially because Fear Effect has a cult following, but not enough to the extent of we're gonna make a whole new game on our own. But yeah, all four of them using it as a crowdfunding project in order to get it rolling again.
I just wish it didn't have to be crowdfunded, because
yeah,
there's so many really promising games that just that don't they shouldn't need crowdfunding. Psychonauts 2. I wish it didn't need crowdfunding. I wish Rock Band.
Oh, the Rock Band. Oh, do you want to talk about it? I know we didn't mention it in our thing, but it can be an extension of this.
Because that one had to be shut down, right? It wasn't going to make its goal?
It wasn't going to make its goal, yeah. It was it made 750,000 or something along that, which is pretty good, but until you realize its main goal was 1.5 million.
Yeah, it reached half its goal. And that's a pity. That is a real pity.
To be fair, Rock Band isn't a very PC game.
I would play it on PC.
It's very much more of a console game.
Because, my PC monitor is my TV, so,
yeah. Yeah, but
and
for
I
most
know
people,
a lot of people who can afford it have, a living room PC.
Yeah.
Because, that A assumes you can afford 2 PCs, and B, have a living room, which I have neither of.
Yeah.
But, that it's theoretically possible. I know, Rocksmith is on Steam, for example, which is a very different game, I know, but still. It's doable, is all I'm saying, and I wish it didn't have to cost $1.5.
I technically could have, I'm not sure what the funding goal is going to be because it's not out yet, but I kind of just wish that Square Enix would just go yeah, you know what, we'll give you a small, budget of, I don't know. It's hard to say with these types of games. What?
Or at least help them along part of the way, so they don't have to fundraise quite as much. Stuff like that.
Again, they might do that. We don't know, but,
because the Kickstarter isn't even out yet. It's, coming. That's what
it's coming pretty soon. They just released a teaser trailer. Looking pretty nice. It's keeping the cel-shaded art style that the original uses, except not blocky because this isn't the PS1 anymore. But, yeah, all we can do is wait and see how it goes. I'm curious about it. And I'm glad to finally see some sort of action, regarding this. But, do you want to move on to the final,
Yeah, I'm fired up.
Okay.
This story, it got my goat.
Okay. So, Baldur's Gate, it's, when did the first Baldur's Gate came out? Because it was one of BioWare's first games. 1998. And then, of course, the franchise got taken over by Beamdog, who then released an enhanced edition a couple of years back, yada yada. It now has an expansion, which is okay, sure, that's all well and good. And people are a bit, on edge with that expansion because there's a transgender character in there.
Oh no!
How dare they?
SpaghettiOs!
And, it's been a big talking point for so many people. People are saying that the dialogue's awkward, that it's oh, hi, by the way, I'm trans, and all that, stuff, and...
Okay, 2 things about this.
Okay. Yeah.
3 things, actually. And this is gonna be a lot like last week, because, Jesus fuck. Okay, so, 3 things. Number 1. People are complaining that the way it was introduced wasn't realistic. Okay, dude. This is a world in which dragons exist. It doesn't have to be realistic. Second of all, it's a fantasy RPG. That's just how people talk in fantasy RPGs. Fucking in in basically any Witcher, not in any Witcher game, but in most fantasy RPGs, it's just like, oh, hello, you're not from around here. I've lost my pot. Can you help me, please?
Yeah, there's this, like, cause I saw some of it. I haven't played this, by the way, and I don't think you have as well, but...
No.
Like, from what I've seen from screenshots and just, a bit of video, is that how it goes, like, basically, you talk to the character, and then you can ask the question, that's a funky name you have. Where did that come from? It's like, oh, okay. Then there's a story going on about that. And that's how you get to know about that the character's transgender.
So it's not even that they tell you right up front.
It doesn't tell you immediately. It's just like,
it.
hey, your name's kind of weird.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
So it's not even that they ask you right away. Second of all, in Dungeons and Dragons, because I play Dungeons and Dragons,
on which Baldur's Gate is based.
Yes, in Dungeons and Dragons, there are spells and there are magical items which allow for full physical transition to a different gender. And so, if these people, supposedly as big of fans of Baldur's Gate as they claim to be, are as big of fans of Baldur's Gate as they claim to be, they should know this. So you shouldn't be surprised that someone would potentially use one of these for their own benefit. Third of all, the creator of the Forgotten Realms campaign setting,
in which Baldur's Gate is
which Baldur's Gate is set, Faerun / Forgotten Realms, the creator of which has publicly stated on Twitter that trans people have been a part of that campaign setting since the first story that he wrote for the setting back in, the 60s.
But it wasn't in the video game!
So, basically, anyone complaining about this has absolutely no reason to. And anyone who thinks that this is a big deal is an idiot, because, guess what? Trans people exist! And I don't care if you want to, I want to escape from the real world. It's just so do trans people, who get shit on every day just because they're trans by shitholes like you do.
I'm just kind of in that weird state of just who fucking cares?
They there's and they're assholes because they are.
Yeah, but, for example, Dragon Age Inquisition had a trans character in there. I don't remember there being a big deal about that. Maybe because it wasn't... Well, then again...
There was. I do remember that.
Oh, okay, sure. But even there, the character, Krem, and then he was part of, Iron Bull's posse, and it's there, you can talk about, but, don't you prefer, Krem is, don't you see him as a woman? Or, no, he's just Krem to me. And that's basically how that goes, and... Yeah, I had no issue with it. I was oh, okay, neat. And I mean, Dragon Age Inquisition also had the first really openly gay character in a big game, with Dorian.
Really?
I'm not sure if he's because Dorian is hella gay, but he's awesome. But, yeah, I'm not sure if he's the first one in a big AAA game, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
It's just kind of sad.
Yeah, I mean, that it's taken us this long. But, getting back to the issue at hand, it's just okay, first of all, it's kind of amazing that Baldur's Gate 2, I think it's for Baldur's Gate 2, right?
I'm not sure, I thought it was for Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition.
Either way, this game is getting an expansion after, infinity years that it's been out.
Yeah.
Second of all, the fact that people, I've seen comments going I've got no problem with, the LGBT community. But and then it's just okay, so you're already lying. But I wish this didn't have to appear in our video games, blah, 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 blah. And it's just I'm a huge fan of Dungeons and Dragons, and I hate that this exists. It's just well, you clearly don't know your Dungeons and Dragons, you piece of shit.
It's all just a big mess.
Oh god, I'm so sick! I'm so, like I said last episode, it's just I'm so sick that this is still a thing! That people are being huge dicks about this.
Yeah.
Why are you being...
It feels like just another controversy of the week at this stage.
Also, slightly related to this, is, do you remember Play Asia?
Yeah.
I still follow them on Twitter for some reason. And recently they posted a tweet of just like, another huge amount of Dead or Alive X3 orders are being sent out.
Oh yeah, that's
just
the
like,
thing.
oh yay. You guys are so proud of that, aren't you, you pricks?
Have you seen the Mega 64 video on the Dead or Alive Stream 3?
I think I have, yeah.
I will not have sex until they bring it to the US.
Oh god, I'm sick of this, like, that this is still a thing in games culture.
Yeah.
Like,
I know that feel.
this is 2 weeks in a row now that I've had to go off on someone like this. Like, last week it was Nintendo, this week it's fuckers complaining about Baldur's Gate basically on the grounds that they're bigots.
Yeah. It's all a big mess. But, let's just let them be for what they are, which is being ginormous idiots, and move on with our lives. Because they obviously have nothing better to do.
God. Clearly.
Yeah. But, hey, you know what is, better? Video games! Or at least games that are coming out very soon.
Mm-hmm. Because there's some good ones in there.
There's a bunch of good ones. I've got 4 big releases, which are pretty much the only big releases worth a damn, but, on April 12th, you get 2 choices, and they're both pretty alright choices. One of which, if you already hadn't bought it on a Japanese Xbox One account, or just suddenly found it in the wild, is, Dark Souls 3.
Which is still hilarious to me that Bandai Namco didn't figure out that, maybe people would want a worldwide release on a game that is very focused on its community and its multiplayer.
It's all been a bit,
There
weird.
was a really good Jimquisition on it. Go watch that. We don't want to get into it now.
Yeah. But yeah, Dark Souls 3, of course, you have to commend From Software. They pump these out, and they don't seem to lose much of quality, except maybe, arguably,
2.
Dark Souls 2, people are less fond of. But even even
Bloodborne was like, what? No, Bloodborne was like early last year or something.
Bloodborne was March 2015, so.
God. Wow, yeah, that is pretty fast then.
Yeah, but, even Dark Souls 2, I'm just looking at it quickly. And I know that Metacritic isn't the big be-all, end-all,
it's a mediocre Dark Souls game, but it's still a Souls game, you know?
Yeah, it's 91%,
And
91 out of 100.
And people love those.
Yeah. But, of course, Demon Souls, of course, Demon Souls didn't work out because of some weird, stuff here and there, but then Dark Souls came out in 2011. And since then...
blew everyone's minds!
Yeah. Pretty much. Dark Souls 2 came out in 2014. Okay, there's been a bigger gap than I thought that there was. But since then, Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, and now, Dark Souls 3. I'm not I love the original Dark Souls and Bloodborne, but I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I like them.
I would like Bloodborne because it's the only one I've really played. I played the tutorial of Dark Souls and gave up there. I would like Bloodborne if I was better at it.
Yeah.
Cause I have been stuck on Father Gascoigne for
forever.
Literally half a year probably.
Yeah.
And it's just every time I go back to try him, he just fucks me up. And it's I don't know where else to go. There's that fucking pig in the sewer that I'm scared of approaching.
Oh yeah, that giant ass pig.
And that's about it. That's all I've been able to find.
Yeah.
So I guess I just have to either grind or keep trying.
Yeah, but Dark Souls does, or at least Bloodborne doesn't have a leveling system, I believe. Or wait, well, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So yeah, you could technically do that. Fight the giant pig in the sewer and get back later.
Yeah.
But, it's all been a big, full credit to, Dark Souls 3, which also has, Hidetaka Miyazaki back in the director's chair, who also directed Bloodborne.
Yeah, boy!
Yeah, but, it's pretty wild that they are that they managed to crank this out and keep the quality up for the fans.
Yeah.
Who are pretty demanding, so
And very vocal about it.
Yeah. So, and apparently Dark Souls 3 is the last in the franchise. I'm not sure if I buy that or not, because
it might be the last in, like, the Dark Souls franchise, but I doubt there's not going to be other, like, games like Bloodborne.
There's definitely going to be a Bloodborne
Souls franchise.
There's definitely going to be a Bloodborne 2, and God knows what else they're going to do. Maybe they'll revive Kingsfield, which is pretty much Dark Souls in first person.
That sounds like a nightmare.
There's 4 of them, apparently.
Oh, God.
On the PS2. Oh, wait, no, one is, the first one was PlayStation 1, and so was the second one. And so was the third.
That sounds like hell, honestly, like, because Dark Souls is so much about, like, environmental hazards and stuff, and, that requires a lot of use of the camera, which you don't have nearly as much control over in first person.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, that's coming out. If you're not in the mood for something really, really hard and depressing and moody, you can always go for the exact opposite, which is Ratchet and Clank.
Man, I don't like the first Ratchet and Clank.
It's aged a bit.
It's
it's gotten better with the games that came afterwards, but and this is pretty much a remake of the original.
Oh, sweet. I did not know that one, actually.
It's based on the movie, from what I can tell. And the movie is pretty much doing the origin story again, plus some added stuff.
Let's be honest, the movie looks like competent.
The movie looks okay.
It doesn't look like they're gonna massively screw it up. I don't know if it's gonna be, like, fantastic, but it looks competent.
It looks alright. I'm not really sure what to make of it just yet. I think for a video game movie, it's probably gonna be okay. And it's fun to see, even that they keep the original actors for Ratchet and Clank. That's pretty you don't really expect that for, like, a big budget anime movie, but then again, this probably isn't that big budget compared to the likes of a Pixar, at least. But, basically it's basically a reboot / remake / reimagining of the first game.
Nice.
And I will just say this. It might be one of the prettiest games I've ever seen.
It's gorgeous, definitely.
It looked like I remember saying this about Tools of Destruction when that came out. How impressed I was with the graphics there. And now I look at this and I'm even more impressed. It's pretty crazy what Insomniac can do. But, now it's, tying in.
Insomniac did, Infamous as well, right?
No, that's Sucker Punch. They did Resistance.
Damn. Never mind.
Sunset Overdrive. But, it's also coming out on a cheaper price. It's coming out for $40.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you've been it's definitely an easier game, to go and buy if you're, pinching pennies. And, I'm willing to give it a shot, but I think it seems like a game I can see going on sale really soon. I don't know why. I just get that feeling. So, but I'll wait and see. It looks good. I'll say that much.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. Another one is, like, our next game, and this is the final new game-ish, is a game that came out in Europe already in February. We've had it for a while, but it's coming out now on April 15th in the US, and that's why we're talking about it now. And that's, Bravely Second. We actually didn't talk about it, during the show then, because I forgot about it, pretty much.
Yeah, I forgot that it was coming out as well.
Yeah.
But, like, okay, I know, like, a few people who are, like, super excited for this game, and rightfully so, because, like, if you like Bravely Default, which I think is, like, it's an okay game.
I
think it's pretty okay. But I know people who are, like, really into it, and this just looks like more Bravely Default, but in, like, the best way. I mean, what more do you want from a game than a job called the Catmancer?
Yeah.
Like, that, just based on that alone, it's just like, if you like JRPGs, go buy this game.
Game of the year already.
Like, what more do you need from a JRPG? Catmancer, there you go.
There, done.
GOTY 2016.
Yeah. And Yeah, there's not a whole lot. I like Bravely Default a lot. I think it's a very well done RPG, especially one that is so deliberately old school. But
I'd argue to a fault, but that's another discussion for another day.
well, it's in an era where we don't get those a whole lot anymore. So we have that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting it. So I haven't actually gotten it yet, but I will at some point in the future, definitely. And finally, this is something for you because Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair is coming to PC.
Yeah, boy!
So you can play it on Steam. Like, the original Danganronpa, I believe, is already on Steam.
Yep.
Now the second one is coming as well. I have both on Vita. I actually haven't played the second one yet.
I have not played the first one, but it is definitely on my wish list. It's on, dude, I should totally play this game list.
I think you dig it, especially if you like the games like 999, Ace Attorney.
Yeah, I've been playing
Virtue's Last Reward.
So I'll get around to.
If you like those games, this is definitely for you.
I know. We talked about it last week.
I think that about does it. Yeah, that about does it. But we finally have some questions.
Yes, thank you. I don't know who they're from, so I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, which one do you want first? The one you had to think about a lot, or the one that's just kind of like, okay, sure.
Let's do the latter one first.
Okay, Alpha Unit asks, what do you prefer, chest or butt?
Honestly, I don't care.
Okay. I'm more of a chest man myself, but, there's some really good butts. And they are...
Just ask Laura Kate, she's a big fan of them.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a breast show like that, like her butt examination show, like Laura's gaming butts. I wonder if there's a gaming breast. I mean, there almost has to be, right? But I mean, not with the degree of professionalism and, analysis, what it tells us about the character.
Dude, we should totally make one.
Not really in my, repertoire, but, that idea is free, folks. But, yeah. Asses are nice as well, but I'm just more of a chest guy. What can you do? Now a question that's definitely hard from the Stickman. What's your favorite crossover in a movie, TV show, game, movie?
Okay, you
comic?
Go first with this one, because mine is just really stupid and silly.
I think there's a bunch of obvious, obvious answers. Smash Brothers is the really obvious answer. Like Smash Brothers uniting all these Nintendo characters in one pretty awesome fighting game, and then also adding characters from Mega Man, from Pac-Man, from Namco, Capcom, Konami, Sega, and just being a huge celebration of video games in general. That's pretty freaking rad, and that's what I love so much about the franchise, that it just, what once felt like, Nintendo's big party suddenly became a party for video games in general. And that's what I love about the crossover appeal of it. Secondly, I also really like Marvel vs. Capcom. It's a combination which you first go, wait, really? But then when you actually play the game, it's really, really fun, and you love how these characters fit together.
I've only ever played, I think, the second one, but it was pretty legit.
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is awesome, if a bit, it's unbalanced. And 3 is fun for what it is. Like, some people, dislike it for being too casual, but I kind of like that about it. And for the rest, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale?
Have you ever actually played that?
I played it a bit, like it was free on Vita, and it's,
I mean, it looked okay.
It looked okay, but it's definitely a bit of a letdown.
Seriously? Separate characters for good Cole and evil Cole?
Yeah. And yeah, like other games like Mario Sonic at the Olympic Games, which is kind of really...
Which is a franchise that's still alive, inexplicably.
Yeah, let me think. Other good friend. Obviously, Alien vs. Predator. The first
comics.
movie at least is, the comics, the game is pretty fun. The movie, not so much.
Yeah.
The W.S. Anderson one is okay, and then Requiem is just... And for the rest, I think I have my franchises, like my crossovers, ready. Or at least I can't think of any more really, really good ones.
Well, mine certainly isn't really, really good.
Okay.
Yeah. Mine is, I shit you not, Scooby-Doo, a WrestleMania mystery. A movie that I have not watched.
I thought you did watch it.
No, but I love everything about it.
Okay.
Down to, like, Shaggy and Scooby being huge wrestling fans and the rest of the gang just going like, this is stupid, what are you talking about?
I can relate already.
To, like, the mere existence of WWE City and it having its own laws and everything.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no. To the antagonist being a flaming ghost bear.
Awesome.
Turns out to not actually be a ghost, of course.
As is the Scooby-Doo way.
Spoilers, I guess. Spoilers. To, John Cena saving the Scooby Gang from...
Chris Redfielding the shit out of a boulder.
While his music unironically plays in the background. Oh, to Triple H being probably, like, the worst voice actor I've heard in a long time. Which is weird, because, like, he's really good on the mic in, like, wrestling shows.
Yeah.
But, like, I guess he just doesn't really get an opportunity to emote in the booth.
Yeah.
I mean, most wrestlers are shitty actors anyway. That's why you're a wrestler. You don't do wrestling because you love to act.
Except when you're maybe The Rock, because he's kind of gotten out of the wrestling thing, but he still comes back for the occasional WrestleMania.
But, I mean, like, he did wrestling before he did acting, you know?
Yeah.
And most people join wrestling because they want to wrestle. Or when they want to do sports entertainment. Sorry.
Yes.
To use the official industry lingo.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Triple H is monumentally awful in his role as Triple H.
I gotta say, like,
Scooby, are in a wrestling match against the Ghost Bear and Kane.
Okay.
God, just everything about this movie is so incredibly lame and hilarious. And I love every second of what I've seen of it. I haven't actually watched it. I've seen the OSW review of it, which is a video podcast of... They're basically MST3King it, let's be honest. Because it's like an hour long.
Yeah.
They're basically MST3King it. Is really funny. I highly recommend it. This movie sucks. Okay? I make no pretenses of it otherwise. This movie sucks hard. As
is the WWE movie way.
Yeah, they haven't made a single movie that's, like, worth a damn.
I find these crossovers fascinating, because there's also the Flintstones Stone Age SmackDown. Yeah. There's Surf's Up 2.
Surf's Up 2! Surf's Up 2 is gonna be amazing!
Surf's Up was the movie with the Shia LaBeouf Penguin.
You know, Surf's Up was actually, like, a really good movie.
It was alright, yeah.
Not gonna lie, like, I really dig Surf's Up. But Surf's Up 2 features John Cena, Triple H, The Undertaker.
With a coffin surfboard, I think.
Yeah, a coffin surfboard, and Paige.
Yeah, as a puffin.
A very small, purple, feathered puffin.
Yeah.
That movie is going to be just... It's either going to be really good, like, legitimately. Probably not.
It's probably not.
WWE studios make really terrible movies.
Yeah.
Just the worst. Even the one that, like, the ones... I think there's two that people sort of know, and that's The Condemned and The Marine. And,
I think I've heard of, like, The Condemned is the one with Stone Cold, right?
Yeah, The Condemned is with Steve Austin, and The Marine is with John Cena.
Ah, okay.
Where he plays a Marine.
Like, you see John Cena more and more, like, you see him in a lot of comedies.
John Cena's really funny. He was in an episode of Parks and Recreation that I really liked. He was really funny in that.
Yeah.
He was just like himself. He was just John Cena.
He has decent comedy chops.
And he was really good in, like, Sisters, right?
He was in Sisters. He was in Daddy's Home with Will Ferrell, I believe.
And most famously...
And in Trainwreck, he was in that as well.
He was in Fred the Movie.
Oh, yeah!
As Fred's imaginary father.
Yeah, he's in, like, that's a trilogy.
Yeah, that is like, do you think Fred is still like alive?
He probably is, but
Nobody cares anymore.
Fred is like ancient in YouTube, internet days, because he was like one of the first really, really big YouTubers.
Yeah, Fred was big when I was in like early high school.
Yeah.
Like 10th grade. So that's like 6 years ago.
And now it's just kind of like,
do you he's like the kind of guy that's just like, he's up there with like Ray William Johnson of just like, oh yeah, this guy used to be around.
Yeah, it's just, sometimes you're just like, oh shit, he's still he's still doing stuff, okay.
The Annoying Orange.
Yeah, that got a Cartoon Network show.
I mean, fucking Fred got Nickelodeon movies.
I was like last week I watched Will It Blend for some reason. Like I just kind of like, that's still going as well. You're going, yeah, you know what?
Don't breathe this.
Yeah. It's still, like, okay, sure. What, like, for some reason I just felt like watching that again, see if that was still going.
I love the
delivery
on Will It Blend.
What, sorry?
I love the deadpan delivery on Will It Blend.
Yeah. That's definitely one of the big highlights of it. But yeah, it's like 2005 till 2008 YouTube. It's weird in just how
the dark days.
Yeah.
It's like when that mashup of Lazy Town and Little John was like at the top of the fucking food chain as far as popular YouTube videos.
Yeah. It's a pre when you could get real money on YouTube and just get so many weird results out of it. It's amazing.
That's when people like Egoraptor and Psychic Pebbles were like the shit.
That's when animation was the shit on YouTube, and then
when it was like sustainable.
and then it dropped in favor of Let's Plays, which we're currently in that era still.
Yes, and everyone and their cat has a Let's Play channel now.
Yes. But yeah, I think with that we come to a close. At least I certainly have nothing to add.
Nope.
All I can say is I'm hyped for Stirs Up 2.
Oh yeah, that movie's gonna be a disaster.
I do wonder if any of the original cast would come back. Like if Shia LaBeouf would come back. If John Heater was the chicken, right?
I don't know.
Like Napoleon Dynamite, I believe, and he's doing nothing, so
he could probably use a paycheck.
Yeah, might as well add some continuity to it and give the guy a break.
I would really I could see Shia LaBeouf coming back just like, because he's doing his like James Franco but better thing right now. Of
pretty
just
much.
Like, I'm an artist, I'm goofy and weird. But like, this seems like surreal enough. Like WWE wrestlers in a Surfing Penguin movie. That seems surreal enough for Shia LaBeouf. I think.
It would be interesting, to say the least. But, yeah. Also, apparently, Vince McMahon is a seal in it.
Oh, yeah! Vince McMahon, by the way, a better voice actor than Triple H, which I didn't think was possible.
No. But, yeah, with that, we come to a close. As always, you can follow me at the Madhero on Twitter, and go follow G1 Features on screwtack/Roosterteeth. We do a lot of fun stuff there, and we hope that you enjoy it. We just recently released a dark Batman v Superman spoiler special, because
that movie is out and apparently toilets.
It's an interesting movie to discuss, to say the least. But yeah, go read that and go listen to this. And where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Gear12_Turbo and on Twitch at twitch.tv/Gear12.
All right. Then I think, yeah. What do you want to close off on? Do you want to do anything? Do you want to, watch more clips of, John Cena throwing that boulder around, or?
Rapatu!
Doo, 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 doo.
Alright, goodbye.
Okay, bye.